You ever meet someone who just can't stop winning until they absolutely spectacularly don't? Meet Napoleon Bonaparte, French military genius, self-made emperor, occasional opera goer, and part-time island resident. He rose from a tiny island in the Mediterranean to nearly ruling all of Europe. And then he got frostbite, overconfident, and maybe just a teensy bit imperialist. But don't scroll away, because if you stick around, you'll get to hear how this man went from revolutionary hero to emperor to escape artist to a guy who accidentally invented modern terrorism and might not have been that short after all. Oh yeah, you're going to want to hear this. Napoleon was born on Corsica in 1769, just a few months after the French took over the island. So from day one, the guy had France in his business and destiny on his birth certificate. He was 9 when he was sent to military school in mainland France, which, by the way, is just about the age most of us were trying to figure out multiplication. Napoleon, he was figuring out artillery angles. By the time the French Revolution kicked off in 1789, Napoleon was perfectly positioned to climb the ranks. And when we say revolution, we mean storming the Bastille, chopping off royal heads, and creating a government with more plot twists than an HBO series. The monarchy was out, heads were rolling. France was a republic. And into this chaos stepped Napoleon, with cannonballs. In 1793, he got his first taste of fame by defeating the British at Toulon. The government was like, "You're young, talented, and you blow stuff up well. Here's a promotion." By 26, he was commander-in-chief of the French military, which is a bit like being made CEO of a Fortune 500 company, if that company also came with muskets and sabers. Shortly after that, he married Josephine, stylish, witty, charming, basically the influencer of 18th century France. Their marriage lasted a while, but spoiler, no male heir, so plot twist incoming. Meanwhile, Napoleon was busy steamrolling Austria and signing treaties like he was autographing fan mail. By 1799, he'd gotten a taste for conquering and decided, you know what, why not conquer France too? Cue the coup d'etat of 18 Brumaire. It's got everything, political drama, double crosses, and Napoleon calmly walking into power like it's his morning croissant run. Now, as first consul, basically head honcho, Napoleon brought in reforms, free secondary schools, a central bank, and a government so efficient, even his enemies were like, okay, not bad. But not everyone was a fan. In 1800, royalists tried to blow him up with a homemade bomb while he was at the opera. Napoleon survived, but many civilians didn't. And, fun fact, this was one of the first recorded uses of a bomb in an assassination attempt. It's also when the word terrorism entered the modern vocabulary. So, thanks? By 1804, Napoleon ditched the Republic costume entirely and crowned himself emperor. Yes, he put the crown on his own head. Because why let a pope do it when you can just say, I got this? From there, he went full video game mode. Austria? Conquered. Prussia? Conquered. Russia? Well, we'll get there. Even across the ocean, he had plans. He tried to claim the West Indies and build a new world empire. But after realizing his navy was no match for Britain's, he pivoted. Sold the Louisiana Territory to the US for quick cash. Boom. Louisiana Purchase. Thanks, Napoleon. You just doubled America's size overnight. But empires need constant feeding. So in 1812, Napoleon made the classic blunder, invading Russia in the winter. His army captured Moscow, only to find it mostly abandoned and on fire. Turns out the Russian army and the Russian climate were working together. Napoleon lost hundreds of thousands of troops to snow. What do you think? Was it hubris, bad luck, just too cold? Let us know in the comments if you've ever made a decision that sounded great in summer, but backfired by December. By 1814, the combined forces of Europe were knocking on Paris's door. Napoleon abdicated and was exiled to Elba, a small island that sounds like a vacation, but wasn't. Plot twist, he escapes, returns to France, reclaims power, and launches what we now call the 100 Days. One final, glorious, doomed sprint toward empire. It all ends at the Battle of Waterloo. A name so famous, even ABBA wrote a song about it. The British, the Prussians, and Napoleon's own overconfidence teamed up to end the dream once and for all. This time, the Allies weren't taking chances. They sent him to St. Helena, a volcanic rock in the middle of nowhere. And there he stayed until his death in 1821. He was buried under a few stones and a couple of willow trees. Until France brought him home years later. Because, say what you will, Napoleon made history. He left behind a legend. Some say he was poisoned. Some say his remains were stolen. And some say he was short. Which is kinda true, but also not. French inches were longer than British ones, so Napoleon was probably around 5'6", totally average for his time. Sorry, Kevin Hart. So, was Napoleon the greatest conqueror of all time? He restructured France, inspired laws still used today, survived explosions, and nearly ruled all of Europe. He was a master strategist, an ego with boots, and a hurricane in human form. And while his empire didn't last, his impact definitely did. Well, fellow campers, we hope today's tale of empire, ego, and icy miscalculations gave your brain a nice little workout. If you've enjoyed the ride, consider subscribing or hit that bell with the gentle elegance of a French saber. And if you like this video, make sure you check out these. Thanks for watching Juicy Mind, where history isn't just about dates, it's about drama. See you at the next campfire.